it's Webs here, and it's time to go back to basics and cook us up a great meal with Murlocs and Mercenaries. The idea behind this build is quite simple. Most of the Murlocs actually have a lot of nature synergy, so you can actually scale infinitely with Bru'kan, and you can also use Malfurion as a secondary way to actually heal your Murlocs when they're on the board, and allow your Bru'kan to survive for a long period of time. The fact that Cookie's cooking actually scales with nature damage is actually pretty funny, because most people will actually just focus down Malfurion instead of Bru'kan, and you have the opportunity to actually put down a bleed with Cookie and Bru'kan on the board at the same time. The starting lineup for this build is going to be Malfurion, Morgl, and Bru'kan. You're going to want to use the lightning rod equipment just so you can get a bigger chain lightning, and you're mainly using him for the scalability off of lightning rod and sometimes the chain lightnings to finish off a bunch of your opponent's mercenaries in one turn. While Morgl is always used in Murloc based mercenary teams, he isn't used that often in a nature-based team, but in this build in particular, he serves as the focal point between the two ideas merging together, as he scales infinitely with Bru'kan, and the fact that you can make Bru'kan and Malfurion survive a lot longer if you use Morgl's Mitt, which makes his Murloc missiles buff all friendly characters instead of just Murlocs. Malfurion is in here for two reasons. He serves as a staple for any type of nature-based build, as he increases the survivability of those teams by a lot through the life root staff, which restores 6 HP to all your characters, and he serves as a way to actually speed up your nature mercenaries within the team, so you can actually get their abilities off quicker before they would actually die, and thus heal yourself for a lot more than you usually would in another team. Cookie is the fourth mercenary in the team, and while I can see the arguments for the other two equipments, I just defaulted to appetizers like always, just because of the fact this will increase the survivability of your other mercenaries in the team that aren't actually Murlocs. And he's mainly in here because he can snipe something with Fish Feast if he has enough nature damage, or he can do a huge bleed on your opponent if Bru'kan is still alive whenever you put him out, which most of the time he actually is. There's a few cases where Go Fish could be useful, but for the most part I just ignored the skill. Mutanus is the fifth mercenary, and sometimes you want to put him out before Cookie. It really depends on what your opponent's lineup is. If they have a bunch of attack-based mercenaries, you want to put him out fourth instead of fifth. And the equipment that you're going to want to use is Iridescent Necklace. This makes Scaly Taunt way better than it normally is, and makes it where he can't actually be critically damaged that turn, which most attack-based mercenaries are actually either protectors or fighters, so this is actually pretty good to have equipped. And finally, the last mercenary you're going to want to put down is Old Murk. You're using this as a way to generate additional Murlocs for either Morgl's Fishy Barrage, or just ways to buff up your Murlocs that are still alive when you place them down. This is your finisher. He's great for doing this because of the fact that most people aren't going to try to focus him down. He's just spawning a bunch of other Murlocs out of him, which buff him up and then allow you to finish off your opponent easily. With that being said, let's go find some games. Alrighty, so let's start with Malfurion, Bru'kan, and Morgl. Most people will probably target the Malfurion, so it's easy to put it down in this order. Though, seeing this is orcs, I really want to focus this down. And especially because we don't actually attack. I have a feeling they'll try to kill this, but we should be safe. We do have a bunch of healing on board. Okay, so they are still going for Malfurion first. That's actually a huge mistake, going for the Malfurion first. Just going to do this, because we are quicker than that, so. Oh shit, we should have actually hard targeted that. I forgot it was double damage. Okay, so now we get our... Actually, what do we want to put down here? Let's put down Cookie next. Rokara is the next hard. Actually, let's do this, and let's do that. Okay, so Thrall's down. So the remaining should be either Garrosh, Grom, and Sarfang. Okay, so it is Sarfang. Gonna just keep focusing down Aura. Okay, so Rakara's dead. We don't actually have any other way to scale nature, so we're just gonna put... Actually, yeah, let's put Mutanus down. Because then I can just spam the taunt. So it is Garrosh, okay. Just gonna AoE. And then try to get Sarfang down next. That's gonna kill their summon. Wait a second, is that... Okay, good, they're not actually using what I thought they were using for a second. Actually, you know what? We could try to focus down Garrosh. Because if it bounces enough times, it should kill the Garrosh. Cookie surprisingly actually scales really well with Bru'kan, so in this position we should just win. Don't even need our last, and they give up. Okay, let's do Malfurion, followed by Bru'kan, and Morgl. Looks like it might be Orcs again. No, it's going to be Frost Control. Okay, so this is going to be annoying. I think it's going to be permanently slowed. We can try to kill Anduin first. They're going to go for Malfurion first, which is the correct play. For us, at least. Still going to do it like this. There's nothing that prevents us from just focusing down Anduin as quickly as possible. Sure, they can slow us a shit ton, but it doesn't matter if we can kill Anduin first. Because most likely it'll just bounce between these two. And they're not going to expect us to do Chain Lightning here, probably. And there we go. We're just going to kill both of them. Okay, so it should be uphill from here. Trying to think of what their last... So Varian has to be one of them. Carriol is probably an R, and Valin I think would be the blue. Or maybe Uther. Uther would also fit. Okay, so it is... Well, the good news is... Don't actually attack. We're going to root that. I think that's the correct play. Or not. Okay, so we can do that. Yeah. I think that's how we're going to have to do it. Okay, so... Let's drop Cookie down next. Oh, okay. Because Varian is only if it attacks, right? It's interesting seeing that equipment instead of the Ice Block equipment for Jaina, though. If we had some type of AoE to actually combo with Cookie, then it might be better to actually use his Go Fish here and there. Okay, so we're gonna put Mutanus down next. Still focus this down. Because now at least we can protect the other Murlocs we have on our board. Okay, so there goes Varian. Mutanus is probably dead this turn. See, games like this makes me wanna maybe run his other equipment, but at the same time, I don't know if that would be the best idea in the world. We do have old Murk Eye, so we can finish this off pretty easily. We'll do that, we'll do this, and then we'll target. Okay. Interesting, a mostly caster build, which means it's probably going to be humans? Or holy, I mean. Oh, Shadow. I actually haven't seen Shadow in a while. Okay, if nothing's changed, it's focused down Vol'jin first. some of our healing doesn't directly count as healing, which is the good news for us. But, what are probably Morgl, assuming they're running a Mutanus. Actually, I'm curious of why they're running Mutanus in this build. You don't have any attacking mercenaries. There's no point in putting up the taunt. Okay, so we're still gonna focus this down. Vol'jin should be done before. Or not. It doesn't really matter though, I guess. No need to reorder. Nataline has to be one of the remaining. Unless it switches into Murlocs. There's not a red Murloc, so I don't know what that would be. They don't have Cookie. I mean, they could have Cookie, but I'd be more shocked that they're running Cookie without appetizers. Okay, so there's Nataline. I'm gonna focus down Asmon next. Yeah, let's use Chain Lightning, trying to get as much damage between these two. What is Nataline's equipment that they're using? Of course, I had to jump all the way over. Okay, so they did kill Malfurion. Okay, so they're using it to heal as much as possible. What's our damage at? Yeah, let's do it like this. I'm gonna try to get a little bit greedy with the Go Fish. Probably not the best strategy, but you never know. I'm not really worried about them nuking our board. Okay, so Light Beam's gonna heal for a bunch. That's a little bit annoying. There's no reason to kill that for now. But the bleed can almost kill it by itself, so nice. Oh, that's actually gonna heal. Yeah, let's do it like this. Because I'm assuming they're going to use Benedictus here. Then we can just bleed everything. Bru'kan! I did not expect Bru'kan with this. Okay. The hell are they scaling with Bru'kan? It's the last character then Lich King? Okay, so they're going to heal that. Going to do damage to Bru'kan because I don't want to deal with Bru'kan. Sometimes I wonder how... I guess it technically is its neighbor, but that's kind of bullshit that it jumped from this side all the way back over here. And they give up. Alright, now that we're through some games, let's discuss my final thoughts on the build. So overall, this build actually was pretty strong. It's kind of surprising of how well Murlocs actually fit in a nature-based team. The other way to build Murlocs would probably be to abuse Sylvanas as much as humanly possible, but being able to use Morgl in combination with Bru'kan and Malfurion actually allows you to survive for quite a bit of time, and most people aren't actually going to focus down Bru'kan as they view Malfurion as the bigger threat just because of the survivability factor that he enables. Though when they get hit by a huge bleed off of Cookie, they instantly regret that because they realize you're actually playing a lot more Murlocs than just Morgl in the team. And it's something that can actually catch your opponent off guard, which is actually pretty cool. To be honest, I'm just glad that I finally found a build that actually works pretty well with Murlocs. It's something that I've been wanting to make a video on for quite a while, and I've tried to do it a few times in the past, but they ended up feeling quite weak, and I didn't honestly realize, for some weird reason, that most of the really good Murlocs have nature abilities. Hell, even Cookie's Go Fish is a nature ability, which is really weird to think about because it's a summon ability, but that's whatever. Sure, 2 of the mercenaries don't actually scale with nature at all, but the build is strong enough for me to actually recommend it, just because you don't actually have to grind out anything extra when it comes to this build. Everything that you're using in this build are their go-to equipments anyways, and most of the abilities that you're going to focus on wanting to use are their most powerful abilities anyways. And with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye bye.